What is going on today, Everyman Driver Nation? Today we have the 2018 Chevrolet Silverado. This is the High Country Edition with the 6.2 liter V8. My name is Nolan.Merrill from the Prime Autotainment YouTube channel. Even though the 2019 Silverado is getting all the buzz and this is the last of its generation, we're going to take a look at the exterior, the interior, and go for a test drive and just see what this 2018 has to offer. Let's get started. Starting with the exterior on this Silverado, like I said, this is the high country trim. Therefore, we do have the unique chrome grille running across there and the body colored front bumpers. Those will vary depending on which Silverado you get. Different front ends, different bumpers, sometimes a chrome bumper or a body colored grille. But standard on all Silverados will be HID headlights, but once you get to the LTZ and up, you'll actually have LED headlights. Plus, all Silverados will get the signature LED daytime running light running under there. And then as you can see, when the blinker is on, that will turn into the blinker as well. So this one in particular does have the parking sensors in the front and the back. Plus we do have our recovery hooks down there on the bottom. And not to mention with the LTZ trim and up, you get the tri-beam LED fog lights in the bumper down there. To help with fuel efficiency, the Silverados do also get active aero shutters. And then on top with the hood, we have a big muscular hood. It does look pleasing to look at when you are in the cabin when you're driving. I think it looks pretty nice. So going around to the side, this is that same Cajun red tint coat that was on that heavy duty that I reviewed. What do y'all think of it? I think it looks pretty good. The chrome accents definitely are good with this paint color as well. For the wheels, you will get 17 to 20 inch wheels on the Silverados, but we have the optional 22 inch chrome wheels. Those are just massive. And then standard on this high country trim is that running board down on the bottom. It's a 6-inch running board with the slats running out. That is standard to keep in mind. We do have the chrome mirror caps, chrome door handles, chrome piece running right under the windows. Plus, on the driver's side mirror, we do have a little blind spot mirror plus the signals in the mirror as well. So the Silverado comes in single, double, and crew cab, and this is the crew cab 4x4 model right here. The frame on this truck is fully boxed and it does have a hydroformed front section. It gives us 8.9 inches of ground clearance. Plus we have the optional folding tonneau cover up on the top. Plus Chevrolet's signature corner step bumper with the handle in the bed, which is really nice to have, makes it easy to get in and out of the bed. And then on the LTZ and up, we get LED tail lamps. A little bit of a different look than the lower Silverados with their tail lamps, and I do have the blinker on, as you can see. Rear parking sensors in the back again, and then there is a full-size spare tire underneath. And the interesting thing, if you want the magnetic ride control on the Silverado, you can get the high desert package, which I thought that was pretty interesting. And then we have the optional chrome exhaust tip down there. Plus Silverados with the LTZ71 and up will get the locking rear differential, which is very handy in slippery situations, especially in two-wheel drive. That way you can get one wheel to lock up and spin if you lose traction on the other. On this high country trim, we do have the enhanced driver alert package, which gives us the lane assist with departure alert, plus forward collision alert with low speed emergency braking, automatic high beams, and then your front and rear parking sonar. We've made it to the truck bed, and we have the short bed, which is 5 foot 8 inches. You can get the 6 foot 6 inch bed for the longer box. In between the wheel wells is 51 inches, and the depth or the height of the bed is 21 inches. Plus we have the easy lift and lower locking tailgate. The locking function actually works with the key fob, which is very nice. This is a roll formed steel bed. As far as towing goes, towing is kind of all over the place, and payload is all over the place depending on what you get. But the max towing with the trailering package will be 12,500 pounds. And of course that's with the 6.2 liter V8. But the payload max is actually 2,250 with the 5.3 engine. Something to keep in mind. But we do also have trailer sway control. We have optional LED box lighting, 4 lower tie downs on the bottom of the bed, plus the Chevy symbol in the back. And then you can get optional movable upper tie downs. And as I said, we do have the optional tonneau cover. And then in this high country trim, you will get the nice spray in bed liner that does look very durable. So starting out in the low trims of the Silverado, you'll get fabric, manual adjustability, but you will still have lumbar support for your front seats. Once you get to the LTZ trim, you will get 10-way power, heated, and that's for the driver and the passenger power seats. And then once you move up to the high country trim, you really get plush, big seats. We have the bucket seats in here, otherwise you will have a bench seat with a folding armrest and a storage cubby underneath that. But we have 12-way power, heated and ventilated front seats, and these things are definitely comfortable. They're big, they're spacious, there's tons of room in this cab. People of pretty much any size can fit in here because these seats are highly adjustable. The pedals are also adjustable on the high country trim. The steering wheel has a pretty good range of motion for both its tilt up and down as well as its telescoping range of motion. I have not had any trouble getting comfortable in here, and it's a good place to be. Like I said, standard on this high country trim are the running boards on the bottom. And something to keep in mind is there's not actually a grab handle here, but there is one for the front passenger. As we move inside the Silverado, we do have a soft upper material, soft around the armrest, and this is nice and soft for your arm. Plus this trim piece running across, and then we do have our two-position memory seats for our seats right there. You can even fold the mirrors in just by the push of a button like that. We do have a bunch of cubby space there, cubby space over here, two separate bottle holders, and these are actually quite large. Let's go ahead and shut the door. A pretty solid door slam from the Silverado here. So moving inside, we do have a soft upper portion on the dash. It's even soft on those glove boxes over there, and you can see the seam running across. You know, there's mixed feelings about this interior from a lot of people, but it seems to be put together pretty well. Plus we have a leather steering wheel. Although it is sort of thin, it is comfortable to hang on to. We do have our cruise control and heated steering wheel button over here, plus our front emergency braking setting there. Voice controls and controls for our center display there, plus the audio controls are in the back of the steering wheel. Just to the left of that steering wheel, we have our trailer brake controls right there, our four-wheel drive controls, which it's actually really nice to have this auto button. That way it'll stay in two, but kick into four-wheel drive automatically when you need it. It comes in very handy in some off and on slippery situations. Light controls, interior lighting right there. This is actually soft next to this area here. Let's go ahead and start this baby up. So there's no push button start. This is our key fob, and on the LTZ and up you will get remote start. Chevrolet gives you a chime right there. As we take a look at this gauge cluster here, we got the typical analog gauges all around, and then our information display in the middle. And that MPG is pretty accurate, even though I have actually been idling for quite a while. So let's scroll through here. There's quite a bit of information that you can see. It even has traffic sign recognition, which is pretty cool. You can see all your basic stuff like that, plus your audio, your phone, your navigation, and then you can customize with your options setting right here. And then as we back out, you'll see we do have the column shifter. You do have tow haul mode up here, plus you can shift into the L and then downshift or upshift with this, which can be nice going down a hill for engine braking. We do have the 8-inch MyLink system right here. A 7-inch is standard on the work truck, but then you get this 8-inch screen, which comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And in our particular model, we do have the Bose sound system, as you can see with the Bose sound, or the Bose tab on the door over there. The screen, you know, it's a little bit old, but it works just fine. We do have some additional apps, and I think this screen looks okay. I mean, it's not the most modern looking, but it does the job just fine. And then we do have some actual tactile buttons here. I do like how we have a nice textured knob on both sides over here, plus some actual buttons that are pretty good size. Plus we do have a CD player. Some of you may still want a CD player. So we do have ventilated and heated seats right here, and these ventilated seats do an awesome job. 3-tier on both heated and vent, plus dual zone climate control on this particular model, and it has worked very well. And then just below that, we do have our control for our pedals down there. As you can see, those move in and out, plus traction control, cargo lights, parking sonar to turn it off or on, or our lane alert system to turn that off or on. Power is not short at all in this Silverado. 2 USBs right here, then we get 2 12 volts, and then a traditional plug-in right there, plus a couple slots to store something. You could put your phone or even an iPad right there, and then a deep storage bin down here. Plus we do have a couple textured bottle holders which do fit large bottles wide bottles because they do give. It's definitely easy to use. And then moving back to this armrest, on this particular model we do have wireless charging, but this is not actually wide enough for an iPhone Plus. A very soft, large armrest. Then when we open this up, a pretty big space down below, 2 more USBs and an auxiliary port right there. Couple little storage slots on both sides and another 12-volt power outlet here. I'm going to go ahead and shift into reverse. So we do have a backup camera. There's no around view monitor or multi-view camera, but you can see straight down to the bumper to help you with your hitches, and it is a dynamic line, which can be very helpful. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, we do have that little blind spot mirror on that mirror, although we don't actually have one on that mirror over there. Another thing about this screen is we do have teen driver technology, which is standard. Plus, in this particular model, we do have the in-truck Wi-Fi 4G LTE. Going over to these glove boxes, like I said, these are actually textured and nice feeling. The top one can lock. It's a smaller bin. The bottom bin is soft opening, and it's a little bit bigger than the top. Then as we go up, Chevrolet does give us OnStar, of course. Plus, in this particular trim, we have the auto-dimming rearview mirror. And then as we move up, we do actually have LED lights around the cab on both sides, which are very bright. Our HomeLink system for the garage. Moonroof controls, which are actually optional. The moonroof is optional equipment. Plus, a power sliding rear window, just like that. And then these visors do come with 2 vanity lights, a mirror, and the entire visor will slide. One thing with the back seat is that you actually get a grab handle back here, so it's easier for passengers to get in and out. But now that I'm back here sitting behind myself at 5'9", I've got a lot of knee space in this crew cab model. Obviously this is the longest edition of the cab, but pretty good headspace back here. There is kind of a swoop right above my head to where if you are maybe 6 foot or more, you might be touching that, but I've got plenty of space, got good foot space as well. Definitely a comfortable place to be. The seats are a little bit upright, which is something that could be changed. As far as the doors go, this upper piece is actually plastic, which is a little different than the front, but around your arms you have a soft armrest, plenty of cubby spaces here. A pretty small bottle holder though, but overall nice place on the door. Map pockets for both the back seats, as well as a couple little storage cubbies and a 12-volt power outlet back here. And the hump in the middle really is not very big at all, so if I scoot over, I can sit in the middle. My knees are a little bit higher off the seat. There's not quite as much support, but I can sit up tall without my head touching, no problem. And then, of course, you get a nice soft center folding armrest with 2 pretty good sized cup holders right there. My biggest complaint is that there's no USB or AC air vents back here, which would be very nice to have in a vehicle this expensive, but we do have the 12-volt power outlet and the USBs underneath this console. But for the 2019 Silverado, you will be able to get rear AC vents. So to give you a quick look at this back seat, we do have a little bit of space underneath of that seat right there and a relatively flat floor. And we do have split folding seats to fold those up just like that. All right, everybody, we are on the test drive portion, which is my favorite part. So starting off with the powertrain, you can get a 4.3 liter V6, a 5.3 liter V8, which I had previously reviewed, so please be sure to check that one out. And then the 6.2 liter V8 that we have right here. So some Silverados will come with a 6-speed, which was in that 5.3 liter that I tested before. But with the LTZ in the high country and with this big motor that we have here, we get the 8-speed transmission. So we'll be sure to check that out. With miles per gallon on the 4-wheel drive that we have right here, you'll get 15 in the city, 20 on the highway, and I have achieved better than that on the highway. And then with the 2-wheel drive, that will bump up to 21 on the highway. All right, we're just about to get on the road here. So I just got out of the Silverado heavy duty, the 2500, and there's a noticeable difference between this one and that one. This one is definitely more civilized. Unless your major need is towing and hauling, I would definitely go for this, or if you just want a big truck, but I would go for this. It seems to be, it's definitely a more compliant ride, or if you want the diesel, you can go with that. But this 6.2 is still fairly efficient and got plenty of power. Let's get on it. Woo! Oh man! The 6.2 liter sounds fantastic, and one thing about it is that when you have the 6.2 liter, you actually get active noise cancellation, so that might even take away a little bit from that engine, but still, it sounds great. And speaking of the active noise cancellation, this thing is extremely quiet on the road. I took some decibel numbers on the interstate on some concrete at 70 miles per hour, and it did very well. It does have triple sealed inlaid doors, which do help. This truck does have the 8-speed, like I said, and at lower speeds, it does feel a little bit hesitant to give you some throttle, but when you put the power down, or when you put your foot down, the power, it goes with you. The handling on this truck is, of course, it's not going to be quite car-like, but the steering wheel does feel nice. The steering is, not as direct as it could be, but it's a fairly light steering wheel. It's easy to maneuver. It's actually easier to maneuver in cities and in parking lots than you might expect. And on some rougher, bumpier roads, of course you can feel everything, but compared to that Z71 package with the 5.3 liter that I tested, this is a bit more cush and a little bit softer. It's a pretty comfortable ride. None of my passengers have complained. They've all been pretty comfortable along the way. So I talked a little bit about the ride and the handling, and it's good. It's definitely comfortable for a truck. There's plenty of space in here. Everything seems to be laid out well. There's soft touch materials where your arm goes. The back seat is very spacious still, but there's no USBs in the way back or no AC vents, which would be nice to add in this trim level. As far as braking goes, this has the 4 disc brakes. The front brakes are vented, and we get the Duralife rotors that GM put on their heavy-duty truck as well. The brakes do feel pretty good. They're a little bit soft, but they do a pretty good job of getting this stopped, especially better than that heavy-duty that I reviewed earlier. We're going to get on a rougher road here. This road is pretty uneven, and then we'll run into some gravel. And on this rough road, you can definitely feel the suspension travel. It soaks everything up pretty well. As I was saying earlier, it does have a softer ride than you might expect, even though it does feel a little bit floaty, which it should for a truck. Still comfortable out here. No problems with that at all. Okay, we're on some gravel here. Let's get some speed. So far, no rattles, just a short distance, rough gravel road here. No rattles. I feel like I've got pretty good traction in here as well. I could feel the locking differential kick in right there. It spun a little bit, and then you could feel it kick in. Definitely a nice soft riding truck. So I don't have the off-road course that Dave Erickson has, that you guys have been pleasured with seeing for many years now, but I'm going to take it off on some grass and on a little bit of a rougher surface, kind of like I did with the heavy duty. I don't quite have a mogul to show you guys, or a very good off-road course, but we're going to take it through some dirt and a little bit of a rougher spot right here, at least to just kind of get the tires a little bit dirty. We don't have the most optimal wheels and tires for this situation with those 22 inches, but it worked just fine. And obviously that's not that challenging, but certainly a capable truck. Definitely no need for four-wheel drive in most situations because you have that locking differential. The power that comes out of the 6.2 is definitely increasingly powerful with this naturally aspirated engine. So let's get on it here. Oh man. This thing has some go. As those RPMs go up, you definitely start to get more of a surge of power, and it feels really good. Even just partial acceleration or partial throttle acceleration is definitely healthy, and it's still a relatively quiet cabin, as I was saying earlier. Everyman Driver Nation, thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to be it for this review. Again, my name is Nolan.Merrill. I have my own YouTube channel called Prime Autotainment. Thank you so much to Dave Erickson for having me on the show. I have reviewed the Silverado HD, as I was saying. That will be on this channel as well. Please be sure to check out my channel, as I've got tons of car videos, truck videos of all different sorts. Thank you so much, and have a great day.